Hello, everyone. Welcome to Entertainment Buzz. It's Friday again. I'm your host, Jenny Rosario de Cassiano, and today we're taking a peek into the world of pageantry. Let's welcome our guest, who is the former Mrs. New Jersey Globe and the owner of the Miss Latina International and Miss International World Pageants, Angela Posillico.
Oh,
Welcome,
thank
Angela.
Hey, thank you so much, Jen. Thank you so much for having me on. This is absolutely fantastic. And the way you introduced me, yes, a former Mrs. New Jersey Globe. And I would like to turn that around and say you were the former Miss Ms. Latina International and of course Miss International World. And you did a great
Yes,
job taking us to new levels and putting us on the map and where we are today. So thank you so much.
thank you. Thank you so much. It was an honor to be a part of the whole pageant system and to work with you all those years. And now, oh my goodness, we've known each other forever at this point. And
Yeah,
I've had the
exactly.
honor of watching the pageant grow and just see so many lives be affected by it. So thank you for what you do.
Oh no, thank you. Like I said, you were with me right from the beginning. I remember when we would run the gamut from Fort Lauderdale to Miami to Palm Beach and every day, every night, even on weekends. And speaking of Marcos, we used to take Marcos as a baby with us. So
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Marcus grew up on the stage.
yeah, Marcos grew up on the stage. I think if we spoke to Marcos today, he'd probably tell us stories we forgot.
Right. So, how are you doing during this COVID-19 quarantine? You're such a social butterfly. I can only imagine that this has been challenging.
Well, it's challenging, but through social media and through people like yourself and Florida National News, and I've even been on the radio station with Peace on the Street in Orlando, through Platform Magazine, Dr. Judy Stavely. We've kept ourselves very, very busy on social media.
Wow,
We've been
great.
published in several magazines. We're due to come out in Intermontello. My very, very good friend, Charlo Garcia, who's not only a photographer, but one of our directors internationally for the Latin countries. He's doing a big article on us the end of the month. So, there are ways, to, even in a pandemic, to stay busy. You're right. So
Absolutely.
it's tough for a social butterfly to stay home, but
Right. There's no
like,
stopping Angela.
no, no stopping me. When I got up this morning and put that makeup on and put the earrings back on, I said, well, here we go. You can still look great sitting in your home. So,
Absolutely. Thank you, Angela. Well, I'm happy that you've been able to stay busy and just keep moving forward despite all of these challenges. Angela, you are just like a pageant guru at this point. How did you get into pageantry? I know you were Mrs. New Jersey Globe
correct.
and eventually you became a pageant director and then a pageant owner. Tell us how that journey happened.
Let's see if we can make a long story short. I'll try to give you the Reader's
Okay.
Digest information. But I began, well, my forte is I really was a singer. Okay. All through high school, I won
Right.
awards, and that's what I was, going to become, was a professional singer. And I did do
You
that
went
in
to
my
Juilliard, didn't you? Didn't you go to
life.
Juilliard?
Yes, I did. Yeah. I went to Juilliard, and that's where I got all my operatic training. But while you're doing these things, you have to work and make money. So I went into the cosmetic industry, and I was very lucky to grab a job with Lancome Cosmetics. I worked in some major doors as Bergdorf Goodman, Neiman Marcus, and I became a trainer for Lancome. And as I was going to all my different counters within New York and New Jersey, I used to get a lot of pageant girls that used to come up and say, "Oh my God, I'm going into a pageant. Can you give me the latest looks? I really need help." I mean, all
Right.
these girls were just drop dead gorgeous. There wasn't much you could do. But, they wanted that vote of confidence. And, I used to do their makeovers, and a lot of them had even hired me to go with them to some of their national, international pageants. So I was getting my feet wet into the world of pageantry. And then what happened is one day I was backstage doing, makeovers. And this one pageant I was doing, Miss American Petite, unfortunately, their entertainer did not show up.
Mm.
And they did not know what they were going to do. So somebody had to be a wise guy and turn around and say, well, Ange sings. And I said, wait a minute, I'm not even dressed for the occasion. I'm dressed here to, work on beauty and do makeovers. And Luckily for me, I happened to have a tape in the car. So my husband goes and gets the tape. And I started performing then. And that day there was a pageant director by the name of Lynn Razowitz. She was sitting next to my husband. They used to drag Alan to judge because the judges didn't show up. We didn't know why. So all of a sudden, Al becomes a professional judge. And Lynn turned around and said to Al, oh my God, she's got to sing at my pageant. So from the makeup world, I went into singing at pageants. And I did that for, I would say, at least a couple of years. Then all of a sudden, pageant directors got to really know who I was. And they started asking me to compete. So the first pageant I went into, which was a fundraiser for muscular dystrophy, the Jerry Lewis Telethon, was the Greatest Legs of New Jersey.
Oh, you do have great legs. I've seen your legs on stage.
Not anymore. That was my young day. But, we're getting there again. And on the third time, I did win that competition. And then I went into Ms. New Jersey, US of A, where I was the third runner-up there. I represented my town of Morganville. Nice. And then I met a wonderful, wonderful woman by the name of Tracy Kemble, who I just, to this day, totally adore. And I became the first Mrs. New Jersey Globe. I won that competition. And from there, I went out to nationals. I was in the top 10. And I became the state director for the Globe organization. I was the state director for about 5 years. And they awarded me with Director of the Year in 1997. Right. I won an all-expense paid trip to Greece, which was absolutely amazing.
How exciting.
And then when I came to Florida, when Al got transferred with his company, Cable and Wireless, they had a director here, and I was going to work with the director. But as you know, I went to work for Dawn, who had Miss Latina Look of the USA, which you had competed in. And then I just realized that there were so many, pageants down here, Latin pageants, but nobody was doing a crossover. Nobody was really taking it to the next level where these women, could compete and go to the next level. And that's through your help. And of course, Al Otero, I started Miss Latina International. And you did so much for paving the way that the first competition we did, if you remember, we had 35, 40 girls on stage.
Yes. Absolutely.
So that's the reason.
Was that the Roni Palace? I don't know. We did a couple at the Roni Palace. Gorgeous.
We did a couple at the Roni Palace. I believe, I'm trying to remember the hotel we were at, but the Duval Hotel.
Okay.
Which they are revamping. That was the first competition. We did a couple at the Roni Palace. That was with Latina Look of the World. And then my big one, which is still, believe it or not, the talk of the town, was the 2005 Miss Latina International pageant, which was at the Hard Rock Hotel.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, that was with Eduardo Llanes, Cynthia Oliveria, Tito Puente Jr., which has been with us forever. That was like, it actually rivaled so many other pageants here that till this day, people are still talking about that 2005 pageant.
Wow, how amazing. You've got such a great memory, Angela.
Yeah, I'm surprised it hasn't shrunk with age, or we won't go there.
So right now you're running two pageants simultaneously, the Ms. Latina International and Miss International World. How are you managing two systems simultaneously, and how do they differ from each other?
Well, of course, the Latina pageant is always going to be our foundation because, especially being in South Florida, there's so many Latin women, and they want to, even if they're born here, they want to stay close to their roots. But what happened is we started to get, and again, I'm going to give you kudos, thanks to you and all the ladies that did be part of Miss Latina International and Amy Diaz and so many other wonderful women. We had a lot of requests for girls that wanted to get involved, but because they didn't even have a 25% Latin background, we just couldn't take them in. Now, one of the things that we did, which made the Brazilian community look at us, is that we were the only Latin pageant. And because we said Latina and nothing Hispanic or Hispanidad, we were able to take the Brazilians in.
Okay.
Because they're always considered European, Portuguese.
Right.
But that's when we decided to start Miss International World, because I was getting requests from Europe, the Caribbean, and just women living in the United States and say, hey, I'd like to really get involved with this. I see what Jennifer's done. She's gone on to so many great things, what Amy's done. So how do we get involved? And that's when I started Miss International World. And that's when all your fans, Jennifer, said to me, well, if you're going to start that division, you know who to go to. And I said, geez, that was first and foremost on my mind. So you did a great job.
An honor.
Yeah, it was an honor. You did a great job of launching that division. And today, I'm going to have to say it's almost outpacing the Latin side.
Really?
It
well,
is.
It's such a broad category, so that's amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
you really opened up the competition there as well.
Exactly. And we've had women come in from Sri Lanka, from Nigeria. We've got a girl right now, Dr. Ashakta Puranek, who became our director in India. She's also our current reigning Miss International World India. She's also the CEO of the International Glamour Project. She's just taking pageantry by a storm. I mean, when we do the next competition, she's been all throughout India doing all these preliminaries. She's got about 5, 6 girls that she will be sending to the pageant, and she's looking to take directorship in other countries. I want to give a big shout out to Chitral Demel from Sri Lanka, who's brought us some fabulous women. My guy Brendan, that's been in Nigeria. That when we started the classic division for women now 31 and over, we had Mercy Atang, who he sent to our organization, who became our first Ms. International World Classic, and she was from Nigeria.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow, great to see that you've opened up the competition, age-wise, gender, not gender-wise. we're not quite there yet, but nationality-wise.
Right.
Let's take a look at your current reigning Miss International World, Gelsini Bariva.
Oh my God!
Represented Russia, correct?
Yeah, she's from Russia, and you know, here's the funniest thing. She entered the pageant about 2 weeks before the competition last year. And when I saw the pictures of this girl, I said, oh my God, I said, this woman is just absolutely stunning. And I mean, it was unanimous with every judge. This girl came in, I mean, her height, beautiful. I mean, just
well, she won the title of Miss International World, so I can only imagine. Let's take a quick look at a video clip of Gelsini.
Yes.
So happy to be here, and that is great experience for me. And thank you for everything, and I love it.
Awesome. Congrats. You look fantastic. The crown suits you.
Yeah, feels good with the crown. And actually, I didn't expect like that anything, but I am so happy. That is the best day in my life. And I love everything, computers, and the girls are so nice and good. And I make so many friends here. And thank you for Angela.
Beautiful girl. I went to Ukraine this summer, and I met lots of Ukrainian young ladies as well as Russian, and I have to tell you, they are absolutely beautiful.
they are beautiful. You know, when I was at the in 1997, when I was at the Mrs. Globe pageant, you know, and it's a funny thing. They always depict Russian girls as, you know, being burly and not being beautiful, but when Al and I saw these women come in from Russia and all their surrounding countries, you know, the Russian countries there, we just shook our heads and, oh my God.
Yeah. They're like porcelain dolls, absolutely beautiful.
They are. They're beautiful.
For days.
Exactly. And Galia has taken us to some really new heights. I mean, she's been involved in so many major fashion shows. She deals with a great photographer. She's done work with several photographers, but I told Victor Montesero I'd give him a great shout out today because he's just done some studio pictures of her that just blow people away. I mean, she's worked with great designers. Of course, you know Zola Keller.
Right.
Zola just loves her. She's worked with Vicky Sobel. And of course, Liz Costello, who Liz Costello just uses her exclusively. So she has really...
We can't forget Ms. Latina International.
No, we cannot forget Deborah Alpendre, not at all.
Yes, let's take a look at a photo of Deborah Alpendre. Beautiful girl. And she represented Venezuela, is that right?
Yep, she represented Venezuela. Now, here's a funny thing about Deborah. We actually ran a contest, and to see who would come, you know, who would actually win this contest. We did this on all casting, and she won it. So
what was the contest about? Was it just beauty or was there talent?
No, we just had them submit pictures and say why they'd want to be the next Miss
Okay.
Latina, International. And, when I saw her pictures, and the thing is, she's also a fitness trainer, which is absolutely fantastic.
Oh, I can tell. She looks very fit.
Exactly.
What are the qualifications for the pageant, Angela, and what divisions do they compete in? Because every pageant varies in what types of competitions they offer. Some offer swimwear, talent. Of course, there's interview.
Right.
There's so many different types of pageants and things that they look for. What do you look for in your pageants? What are the areas of competition? And of course, how can the girls qualify to compete?
Well, the areas of competition, of course, are the interview, there's swimwear, there's evening gown. We put a lot of emphasis on the interview
Of
because
course.
the way we feel is that, look, all these women are beautiful inside and out. But when they've got that, dignified personality and that intelligence to go with it, that really makes all the difference in the world because we pride ourselves on doing community service and, being on a lot of red carpets with VIPs. Our age category is 18 to 30. We do have a teen division that goes 14 to 17.
Okay.
We also have a supermodel division because we found there was a lot of women that really want to get involved with modeling, might have been all through college and may not want to go the community service route, but that's something that they want to do. So our supermodel division goes 18 to 30, but they have to be at least 5'6" and over. And now we started fitness, and fitness is really right now so important, especially that people want to keep their immune system going with this COVID-19 virus, going around. And we feel that that's just another category for women to get involved with. Now, that's going to be a little different than the pageant because they have to be in that bodybuilding shape. And as you could see with Deborah, so those are some of the things that we've done. And I think this year we're probably going to add Miss Caribbean because we do a lot of work with Bahama Paradise Cruise Line, as you know, and we go back and forth to the Bahamas. So that's another area that I think is that's going to work well for us because we have so many women that come in from the islands. So it's just another way to, give these girls another opportunity to get involved with things.
I love that you said opportunity because from my experience, pageantry does provide lots of opportunities. It teaches lots of lessons.
Correct.
And of course, we're looking for a combination of beauty and brains, which is why interview is essential in these pageants. Angela, what are some of the benefits to the ladies in the pageantry? I have a list of benefits, but I want to hear what you think the benefits are to these contestants and of course the winners.
Right. Well, you just said it. You've got a list of benefits. I mean, it opens doors. I mean, look at yourself. I mean, you've done wonders in the entertainment, the modeling. I mean, when I went to Disney World last year, 4th of July, and I saw a picture of you in Orlando up there, people online going and getting tickets want to know I was screaming, jumping up and down in 99-degree weather. And I said, oh my God. I said, that's Miss International World, Miss Latina. And people were looking at me. I said, that's my girl. That's Jennifer. And
oh, thank you.
So even Al said to me, and I mean, take for instance, Silvana Camargo, who was a Miss Latina International. She went on to work for Telemundo and then started her own organization called Canastillo. So she's out there interviewing people left and right. She's gone to the Academy Awards. I had girls that became anesthesiologists, went on to become doctors. Amy Diaz, who of course was, I always say, was Miss Pageantry.
Absolutely. I know Amy Diaz.
Yeah, Amy still, I mean, now she's married, three beautiful children, but went on to Miss USA and made the, made the top 15 there.
She
and then
was on a TV show too, The Amazing Race, I think it was. Her and her husband were on that show, and they actually won.
They actually won.
They were very competitive. Amy is very competitive. And she did so great on that show. Her and her husband made a really good team.
Yeah, she did that. And I mean, look at the celebrities that we've been with, from Eduardo Llanes to Tito Puente Jr. to Melina Alvadova, yourself with Gerard Butler. I mean, I've had the great opportunity to now work with Max and Val from Dancing with the Stars, who we hope to get on the next pageant. So it has just opened so many doors for these women because people get so misconstrued with pageants. They think, oh, these are just pretty girls walking around in bathing suits and competing on a runway. But No, you know, they're really not.
You're exactly right. And I know that I was challenged many times too in the world of pageantry. You know, people wanting to see if I was just beauty or did I have a combination of brains and was I up to the task, you know, because there's a lot of thinking on your feet in pageantry that people aren't aware of. And there's a lot of training that goes into it. And again, like you said, there's a lot of community service, there's public speaking involved. So there's a whole skill set that girls develop in the world of pageantry that they will carry on with them for the rest of their lives. And as you mentioned, there is a lot of debate in the world of pageant about whether pageants just objectify women or if they actually do empower women. And I know that part of your mission statement includes a goal of empowering women. Please tell us how the pageant system does empower women, in fact.
Well, we always say we empower through a crown. As you know, I've been involved with 100 Successful Women in Business, which is the Global Trade Chamber. And we've had a lot of women that have made appearances there. Take, for instance, our girl, Mary Gasol, who won Miss International World Global, who's a top realtor in Miami. And first girl that ever represented the Philippines. I mean, she goes around making speeches all the time about real estate. How about Janice Garcia? Look at what she does. I mean, and she also works with Florida National News. And in fact, when Janice came to me, she had been in a pageant previous, wasn't very happy. Had to convince her to get involved with us. She was like, oh, I think this is too soon. I said, Janice, trust me. I think you're going to like the end result. And when we called her name out that night, you were there, and we said the new Miss Latina International. I mean, look at her. She's very successful. She's
built a little real estate empire there.
Yes.
What is her? She's with Keller Williams, and I think her team is called Making a Move.
Yes,
Make a Move Group. Yes, I love her. Her passion. She's just such a passionate girl, very motivated, and yes, she's a go-getter. Definitely represented the pageant well.
A good example of when I was working with the Globe system going back in 1996 and 1997, and I think my husband's probably going to he's probably put the bug in my head. That's why there was a young girl by the name of Debbie Goldstein that came to me. This girl was so shy. She would put her head down. I mean, she was just so frightened to do anything.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
And she came to me, and it was like night and day. Today, I mean, it took a matter within a year. This girl was out there competing in pageants. She started her own pageant, started a website.
It's not a great experience. I've had that experience too with training girls in pageantry and seeing them walk in the door with a lack of self-esteem, and throughout the training process, see them just kind of blossom into a very confident woman.
Exactly. And I mean, this girl was just totally, I mean, when she wouldn't even look me straight in the eye. She was so frightened. I said, what are you frightened about? And I mean,
and, you know, everyone has the potential. They just need a little boost sometimes, or a great role model in their corner.
Exactly.
And I know I've seen you do that with a lot of young ladies. And that's one of the things that makes your pageant unique. You don't necessarily take girls that are already primed completely. I mean, you're really open to working with young ladies and preparing them for pageantry versus taking girls that are already, they have nowhere to grow because they're already so primed and proper and well trained. So I really love that about you, because you do help boost self-confidence in young ladies and just really transform lives through the pageant system.
Well, thank you for that. Let's look at this one success story, which she's now our pageant coordinator, which is Susmita Patel. Susmita Patel did not want to compete in a pageant at all. Oh my God.
It's terrifying. What person in their right mind wants to be judged by the world from head to toe, inside and out?
And she literally told me to pretty much almost go to hell.
Oh, goodness.
I said to her, I said, I see something in you. I said, and I'm telling you, I said, I am so confident. So 2 weeks before the pageant, going back in 2017, she decided to enter. And that night there, she won Miss International World United States.
Nice.
Within a few months, we had a problem with one of our girls that was holding the global title. Unfortunately, couldn't go on because of some very bad family obligations. So
Oh,
Smita became Miss International World Global. She took over that title. From
wow.
that point on, her career actually boosted. She went and started her own modeling and training company called SP Fashion Direct, where she trains models, and she'll train a lot of our pageant girls. From there, she was asked to be the fashion and entertainment coordinator for the U.S. Open Cricket Games. What she did in 5 days, I mean, I do a one-day event. She did in 5 days was absolutely amazing, and got 1.2 million viewers on YouTube.
Wow. What a
And
great story. You see, pageants can absolutely be a great launching pad for a young lady's career. And even if they're not going into the entertainment industry, like you said, there's a lot of business networking that happens when you're holding a title, or even as a contestant participating in a lot of these functions.
oh
And
yeah, she's done quite a bit, Smita. I mean, she's in demand today, and she'll tell you, I didn't know where I was going and what I was doing, but
right,
she even
great.
worked for the Global Trade Chamber as in an executive position, and then went on to a few other things. But I was so proud of her when she started SP Fashion Direct, and now became
Nice.
our pageant coordinator. So we work hand in hand. So like you, always says, we're tied at the hip. We're not going anywhere.
Right. Well, Angela, you mentioned the Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line. I know that you've had the pageant on the cruise line for what, the last 4 years?
Correct.
Tell us about your association with them, and of course, the project that they've just recently launched.
Well, it's been a great association with Bahama Paradise Cruise Line. I have to tell you, that entire staff, my direct account executive, Nasli Osorio, has just been amazing with me. Our CEO, O'Neill Cosa, I mean, I don't think I have enough words in the dictionary to describe what a gentleman he is. He's been amazing. Clark Reber, Francis Riley, that is a great executive team. And the owners, Kevin Sheehan Jr. and Sr., who were the former owners of Norwegian Cruise Lines, they have just taken this company to an unbelievable level. They believe in everything I'm doing. They sponsor a lot for us. They're so excited to bring us back every year. And I actually met them through a very good friend of mine who passed away, Joe Reyes, who started me with Bahama Cruise Line. And one of the things I've been very impressed with is anytime there is a situation where people are in need, they answer the call. Like when Hurricane Dorian hit in the Bahamas,
Right.
they were the first cruise line to start 2 humanitarian cruises over to the Grand Bahamas. And they brought food, they brought clothing, medical supplies. They had doctors on board, they had media on board, and they were there. I mean, other cruise lines got there and, did give products and things, but they were the first one to really go when you almost couldn't even get into the island.
Right.
Now,
what a great achievement, and obviously what a great association to have with them. They just recently released a press release as well, explaining how they teamed up with an organization called Folding at Home Project.
Folding at Home Project. And what they're doing with that is, and I'm going to probably take it a little step further to get involved with them. Right now, the ships are not sailing, and they have a lot of people because of COVID-19 that are not working in their office. So they're going to donate a lot of their computers to scientists and physicians that want to get involved so they can have more computer access to try to find a cure for COVID-19.
Right.
When I saw this, I said, I have to get involved, whether I'm doing a fundraiser. I've done a lot of research on COVID-19, and I'll tell you why. It hit home for me. One of our former Miss Hades, Erin Barone, she's a frontliner. She's a nurse. She contacted COVID-19, and we almost lost her. And that was so sad because her baby is a year old. She just got married. And she beat it, and now she's back with her baby, and that's a success story coming out of that. And then on Easter Sunday, I was not prepared for what I saw on FaceTime and what I heard. My cousin Teresa got COVID-19.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
We almost lost her. And when I saw what she looked like and when I heard her, I right then and there said to myself, This virus has no boundaries. It could hit anybody. You know, they say the most vulnerable, like 65 and over. Here's a girl that's 54 years old, head of the
Right.
like an assistant dean for the library in Colorado. It's got 2 beautiful children and was struck with this virus. And it took her.
The virus has no prejudice. How's your cousin doing now? How's Teresa?
Teresa's fine. It's been 21 days. In fact, over 21 days. She's back to herself. I just spoke to her the other day. She's okay. And she's a nervous wreck because her son happens to be a lieutenant in the police force. He's a first responder. And that's what I'd like to do today while we're here. I think a big shout out's got to go to all the first responders, the nurses, the doctors, and even the military. You know, my husband's former military person. He was in the Air Force. You know, people don't realize that these men and women of our armed forces, they put their life on the line every day. The police officers, the doctors, the nurses. I mean, hey, when I had my heart attack in 2007, you know, in the middle of the night, when you've got a nurse standing over you in the ICU unit, holding your hand and saying, you're going to make it, you're going to be fine. That takes a lot of guts. They could be home with their
know. I've had my share of experiences with great doctors and nurses, and absolutely, we want to thank them for being our frontline heroes. They're risking their lives every day, including their families. And I mean, I don't know what we would do without them. So even from here, Florida National News and Entertainment Buzz, we want to thank all of our heroes, the doctors, nurses, police officers, anybody who's working on the front lines, dealing with this COVID-19 and trying to combat that, and of course taking care of patients. We just really appreciate what you're doing. We pray that you stay safe and healthy, and we just can't thank you enough.
Exactly. And from all of us at Miss International World and Miss Latina, we feel the same way. I mean, you know, they could refuse people right now with this virus, but they don't. They've taken an oath to be part of the medical situation and the medical field, and from our hearts, we just want to say thank you so much.
Well, hopefully, we're on the recovery side of this.
Yes,
you know, most of us have been in quarantine for a while now, so hopefully things have started to plateau and decrease, and hopefully it just gets better from here on out, and we can resume life as we knew it. Later. Angela, you talked to us about the Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line. I want to take a quick look at some video footage that we have promoting the beauty pageant and showing what the girls can expect on their cruise pageant experience.
Exactly.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Mimi from Peace on the Streets, like right now on the cruise ship. If you guys don't know, we're taking off June 15th. Miss Angela right here. What are we doing?
On June 15th, Mimi, we're going to be here for the Miss International World, Miss Latina International Pageant. Woo! Coming to you live from Bahama Paradise Cruise Line, the grand celebration. It will be epic. I got my girl Mimi from Peace on the Streets going to be with us. Tito Puente Jr. and his Latin Jazz Orchestra. And once again, coming back by popular demand, the great Lamont Easter as your host. So join us. Get your reservations. It'll be a sellout. Do not delay. We will see you there.
That's right, guys. Check us out. Broadcasting live June 15th. You don't want to miss this. Check us out.
See you then.
Okay, we have another clip too of a vlog that shows the experience that the girls will have on the pageant. That was a fun video we just saw, but now we're going to get into the depths of what the girls
exactly. The nitty-gritty.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. Wow, that looks like so much fun.
Yeah, that's right.
Compete again. Almost.
Yeah, you have to. Well, you should. You should come and do that classic division.
Oh.
You definitely got to be there at the next one as a judge. It really is amazing. It's and when you showed up in the Bahamas that year, what we did was we took an organization called Shoes Organization. It's actually spelled SHUZZ. And what they do is they provide shoes to underprivileged children and homes. We took 300 shoes and donated that to the children's hospital. And
is that what those bags were? I saw you at the girls at the orphanage there, and I saw a bunch of bags on the.
That was the shoes in the bag. Yeah.
How great! What a wonderful idea.
Yeah, it was great. Now, I do have to make an announcement. I haven't made it publicly, but I'll make it publicly today. And I'm just kind of waiting on Tito because we don't do the show without Tito.
Right. We had Tito on the show a couple of weeks ago.
I know. I saw that. That was great. And I love him dearly because he didn't want to do a tribute to his dad because, it's 20 years since his dad has passed. And the cruise lines, as you know, have been stopped for 100 days by the CDC not to sail. Now, Bahama Paradise Cruise Line is supposed to come back on June 13th, but we are still watching guidelines of the CDC. Our pageant was supposed to go July 24th to July 26th on their newest ship, the Grand Classica. But because our group is so big, that I have 40 girls on stage, plus Tito, they themselves have said, there's no way we could even practice the social distancing.
Right.
Right now, with the cruise line coming back, they're not even going to sail to capacity. They're even going to close 2 decks. Things are going to be done so differently.
Of course.
Because, they're even saying there may be a second wave of this virus. So we have made the decision to put the pageant out in 2021 because, listening to what a lot of my passengers were saying, a lot of people, they almost didn't feel safe because, again.
Understandably. So you're pushing the pageant to 2021? Am I understanding that correctly? Okay.
Yeah, we're going to do it either February or March. And to be fair to all our ladies out there, we're going to extend their titles because we feel that with COVID-19, they haven't had a chance to go out and really promote their titles, past spring,
that makes
summer.
Sense. Right.
And we don't even know with some of the events like Winterfest Boat Parade or some other events that we have planned, how that is going to be done. So I think if we do this in February, March, like I said, I'm just waiting for Tito to give me his dates because I know a lot of his things have been postponed to the following year, and I will work with his schedule 100%. And I'm hoping that by, let's say, January, February, we've either got an antibiotic that if you get this, you're only in bed a few days, you don't wind up in an ICU unit, or as Dr. Fauci has said, we have a vaccine. And let me tell you, we got a vaccine. I'll be the first one online.
Well, I have to tell you, the antivirals are very useful. I caught the flu this year for the first time in like 15 years. I mean, I haven't had the flu in 15 years, and I caught it this January. It hit me like a storm just overnight. I was knocked down with 100 fever. And because I was able to catch it within the first 48-hour window, they prescribed me an antiviral, and I was still sick for a week and a half, but I think that had I not had the antiviral, it would have been a much worse experience than it was. So I know that the scientists are working really hard on trying to develop not only a vaccine, which obviously we need a vaccine, but they're also working on creating an antiviral medication to help those that do get sick with the virus to kind of combat it a little bit quicker and maybe lessen the severity of the symptoms. So hopefully that'll come out soon.
Yes.
We're praying for that, and I know they're working tirelessly towards that. And so I'm sorry to hear that you had to postpone the pageant, but it makes complete sense. And that was a great idea to extend the girls' titles to give them a fair shot at, of course, attending their events and promoting the title and having the full experience that they look forward to when they compete for that.
They will. And,
please keep us posted on that. And of course, we want things to go back to normal as soon as possible, but safety comes first. So I commend, the cruise lines as well for, for keeping safety first.
And then
having said that, we're going to have to cut to a quick commercial break, but we'll be back with more from Angela.
Thank you.
At Duke Energy, we deliver electricity and so much more, like free home energy assessments, rebates for energy-saving improvements, payment options to help you better manage your budget, and even bill credits for helping the community use less energy. So no matter what you're doing, we can help you make better energy choices every day. It's just another way we bring power to your life. How much can you save?
Angela, when the girls do return to making appearances, what kind of appearances can we find the beauty queens at? What kind of events do they attend?
Well, they're always going to VIP events. I mean, I was so happy to see them at a lot of the Super Bowl events last year. They did some red carpet events, which was absolutely amazing. And I was a little nervous because that's when COVID-19 was just starting to come about. But thank God they were all safe. The Winterfest Boat Parade, which we always participate in.
Oh, I love that one. I used to participate in that one.
Yes, you were in that.
So much fun.
You know, hopefully that we've gotten. You know, it was so funny because when the governor's race was on, and Mayor Phil Levine of Miami Beach, who I happen to know well, I had worked with his campaign, and the girls made a lot of appearances with him. That's how we got, want to kind of say, into the political world a little bit. And of course, you know, Willie, as long as you're in a political event, you got the attention of Willie. So that, you know, those are the type of things they do. There's always red carpet events. It's just unfortunate that this year, because of COVID-19, all of them were going to be in Miami Fashion Week. And, you know, that's owned by Antonio Banderas.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Antonio Banderas bought it a few years ago. It actually had taken a hiatus from Miami. And then when Antonio Banderas brought it back, it's come back full force. But unfortunately, there's no way they could practice any social distancing with that.
This is an off year for everyone, but it's going to come back. It will resume eventually. This too shall pass.
Yep.
And Antonio Banderas, how cool. I didn't know that. You know, my husband gets referred to as Antonio Banderas all the time.
I understand
his look-alike.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. So Angela, you're not just a pageant director, pageant owner, which I shouldn't say just, because that's a huge role that you play right there, and it's just a huge responsibility and a big task to put on a beautiful pageant every year, and of course provide opportunities for the young ladies during their experience. But as you mentioned earlier, you're also a singer, you're also a host. What kind of events can we see you at?
Well, as you know,
pageant stage.
Exactly. Well, as you know, Rob Henlon from Orlando International Fashion Week, he will not do that final show without me.
Oh, I love the Henlons, Rob and Jessica. They're such a great brother and sister, like dynamic duo. And here we are. We have a picture of you, and I see a beauty queen in one and a model in the other. You're hosting for the Orlando International Fashion Week.
Yes.
That's a great event. They host so many great events here in Orlando. They are the fashion gurus.
Yes, they are. And what's great about them, because they're kind of in the middle. You know, Tampa has their fashion weeks, and then of course we have it here in Palm Beach. But Orlando, they've got a monopoly on that because they're still far away from Palm Beach and they're away from Tampa. So, which is great, and they've done a terrific job with that. In fact, that was Susmita, who you saw with me on stage.
Okay.
Yeah, that was Susmita. And I've also done Miami Metropolitan International Fashion Week. I was the host of that for 3 years. And the last time I hosted that, it was such an honor to host it on the stage of the Jackie Gleason Theater, which has so many memories for that.
You've got such a great presenter voice, I have to say. You're so perfect for that. And I know you used to sing on stage. Are you still singing?
Once in a while I do. I've got to get back to that. You know, that was a great time in my life. In fact, my cousin, Tony Liguori, who happens to do an Elvis act, and also has, yeah, he does.
You have an Elvis in your family?
We got an Elvis. And as a matter of fact, if you was to listen to him and you closed your eyes, you thought he was playing an Elvis record. That's how close he sounds to him. Even looks
I
like
would love to see that.
oh yeah, his costumes and everything. And you know, he's a little stymied right now because he can't go out and do his shows. But I think him and I are going to team up together. We both opened up for Frankie Valli in New Jersey many years ago.
Thank you.
Yeah, at the Jerry Lewis Telethon. The both of us opened
and
up.
you've got that great opera voice too.
That's why Elvis.
That must have been a sight to see. You have to send me a video of your cousin Elvis. I need to check this out.
Oh yeah, I got to send you his information. He's just amazing. I mean, he's in great demand. He was supposed to play Las Vegas coming up, but of course, you know, all that is you know, on a postponement. But what he's been doing every night to try to give people, you know, some hope. And he writes his own music too. One of my favorite songs that he wrote was After Midnight. But he's been on FaceTime and he's been on social media every night singing his songs. And I think I think it's great. I'll have to link the two of you up.
Yeah, that sounds like so much fun. I'll have to take a look at that. So you mentioned earlier Tito Puente Jr., of course. He's one of my favorite artists, and we had him on the show a couple of weeks ago. And he is, in fact, your headline artist for the pageant every year.
Yes, he is.
Let's take a look at this quick little promo video that he put together for the Ms.
Live from the beautiful Gaylord Palms Hotel in Kissimmee, Florida, this is the 2011 Ms. Latina International Beauty Pageant.
Hey everybody, it's Tito Puente Jr. Are you a beautiful Latina woman between the ages of 18 and 26? Then I invite you to come to our nationwide casting coming to a city near you. So pack your bags and get on the MLI Express. Wepa!
He has so much energy. I love watching.
Oh my God! Yeah, that was at the Gaylord Palms, and you know, my girl Erica Kuskat was in there. I just love her. She was another former Miss Latina International. She's great.
You've got a few celebrities that promote the show, which is so much fun to watch. We have actually a video of another one who is Jaquan. Of course, everybody, especially in South Florida, knows who Jaquan is, and he's one of the Nasty Boys.
Oh yes, one of the Nasty Boys with Tito. Yes, he is.
Those two get together too. Let's take a look at Jaquan on VIP Latino.
Exactly.
Hey everybody, it's me, Jaquan from VIP TV. I'm here at the Copa Lounge, and where it's all going down. We got some live entertainment going on here. We got the beautiful pageant ladies, and who puts it all together is this lovely lady right here, Angela. Angela, can you tell me what's going on tonight?
Well, what's going on tonight is we're going to be doing a crowning of more of the beautiful Miss Latina International ladies. And as a matter of fact, one of them is standing right next to you, Paula. She's about ready to be crowned the next Miss Latina International Colombia.
Jaquan is another fun one. I've actually hosted some shows with Jaquan also.
Yes, you did.
And you know, the Nasty Boys are amazing dancers.
They are. I've watched them. Yes.
Jaquan surprised me one time, grabbing me. We were hosting a show together, and he grabbed me and just started going crazy dancing. And I was wearing a really tight, beaded gown. I could barely move.
Jaquan has a habit of doing that. Yes.
Oh, it was so much fun. I don't know how that dress didn't just pop on me.
Yeah, and you know, it's also another legend that we had, and he passed away a few years ago. He was quite a dancer. He was also in the Mambo Kings, and Tito knew him well, was Cuban Pete Aguilera.
Oh, Cuban Pete,
yeah. They performed for me. They even judged for me. They you know, they were just remarkable dancers.
Right. We can always expect to see great talent at your pageants. They're so much fun.
Absolutely.
Definitely. We're going to cut to a quick commercial break, Angela, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
You need time to stand still or get up and go. You need to unplug or to reconnect with those who matter most. You need to kick back, to dive in, to have your moment in the sun. You need a palace to lift your spirits, to taste the finer things. You need room to feed your soul, to remember why you travel. You need Lowe's. The legendary Lowe's Don Cesar Hotel, St. Pete Beach. The room you need.
Welcome back.
That was a great commercial, Jen. You hit on that. That was great. I loved it.
Oh, I wasn't there.
Yeah, that was great.
Don Cesar, you have to go check them out. They're a beautiful resort.
It seems like it, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
very luxurious. Angela, of course, you're a beauty pageant director and owner, which means you have to give us some beauty tips before you go today.
Beauty tips. Okay. Well, during this downtime, one of the things I would like to tell everybody is, and they've been saying, keep your immune system up. Now, I know a lot of our gymnasiums and clubs are closed, but one of the things I've been doing every day, and you can do this at home, if you've got Comcast or whoever you've got as cable TV, they've been doing a lot of live stream fitness. Okay. But
even the gym,
I have had the distinct pleasure of working out with Max and his wife from Dancing with the Stars, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 1 p.m. on Instagram. They give an hour class that is unbelievable.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, since they started that 3 weeks ago. Also, every night, they have a link on the Dance With Me site where you can actually take some private lessons with Max, and they're not charging anybody for this. This is great.
Oh, we'll need you to post those links below this video once we're done.
Yes, I got to post
the
those
audience
links.
and check that out. That would be great. I can use a few dance tips.
Yeah, and
you're absolutely right. I mean, there are a lot of jokes out there and memes about people overeating during this time because they're stuck at home and not exercising, and it's very easy to fall into that trap. I catch myself too digging into the cookie jar a little too often, but it is very important to maintain our health, and it's not just for beauty. So obviously the side benefit is that you look good, right, when you exercise and you eat healthy. But right now, during this difficult pandemic, it's really essential that we take care of our health and keep our immune system strong, which does require healthy eating and exercise. So thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Yeah, exactly. And, I've had the distinct pleasure of taking a couple of private classes with Max because he does own a studio in Boca called Dance With Me. And one of the things that Max will tell you is vitamin C. He's very big on probiotics, vitamin C. I tell a lot of my girls, you're home right now, take a beauty day, take all your makeup off, sit in a bathtub or sit on your bed and for 10, 15 minutes, put a mask on and,
good.
just let that
put the rainforest music on.
Exactly. Put the rainforest music on and, I know a lot of people right now, it's very hard to focus because we're not used to, this is going to be the new norm on how we're going to do things. But if you keep your mind and your body going, that's just it. If you got a strong mind, you're going to have a strong body. And like I said, the virus has no boundaries. It has no limitations. But if you can stay positive, you can, you have to be cognizant of what's going on out there. But on the other side of the coin, you have to say to yourself, all right, it is what it is. This is what I'm dealing with. How do I avoid it? And how do I go forward? And that's probably the best
positive mindset. Right.
Exactly.
It's easy to get overwhelmed by the news and get consumed in the constant updates. But you're absolutely right. We have to be mindful of not getting sucked in by that and just trying to keep a positive mindset and not falling into a depression or a constant state of anxiety, which is very easy to do right now. So don't just wash your hands, but stay positive. You got to wash your hands, exercise, eat healthy, and utilize some mind control.
That's it. And when you come out,
affirmations, and just know that this is going to pass.
It's going to pass. And when you go out there, how hard is it to put a mask on and wear gloves? I mean, Al and I do it every day. You know,
I'm so glad you mentioned that, because I know when we step out, myself or my family, we are very conscious about wearing a mask, and we even carry gloves with us in some cases. And, you know, for the most part, we do see some people wearing masks. But I think that some people, maybe they think it's not cool, or they feel like they have strong immune systems, so they don't have to worry about it. But it's very inconsiderate to not wear a mask right now. And even if you do have a strong immune system, you can carry the virus and pass it on unknowingly to someone with a weaker immune system. So being conscious of that is very important. So yes, please spread the word to wear a mask when out in public, and please continue to practice social distancing. Even as things are starting to open up, we have to remain conscious of this.
You have to remain conscious, because this virus could come back. And, you know, I've told so many people, you know, when you have a heart attack, they do put you on a respirator, you know, for the first 24 to 48 hours. When Al had his open heart surgery, you were on a respirator. And I've told people, now you can survive, but it's not very pleasant. You know, that respirator is breathing for you. You're not breathing on your own. And I have told everybody, you don't take this very lightly. I mean, you have to stay strong, but understand it's still out there. You don't want to get to that point where you're on a respirator.
Right. I have asthma, so I understand. I've experienced that feeling of what it might feel like to breathe through a straw. And it's
Right?
a horrible feeling, right? So I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
I've had my lungs filled up with fluid, where a doctor actually made a mistake on me. I won't mention his name. In an emergency room a few years ago, I went in for a kidney stone, and 2 hours later, I was in intensive care. And they had to reverse everything. And when you're calling a nurse and telling them you cannot breathe, you can't even take that second breath, trust me, I don't want to go back there.
Right.
So if I have to wear a mask and I have to look like I just came out of the movie Gladiator, why not?
Well, Angela, thank you for your words of wisdom and encouragement. And thank you again for sharing your wonderful story with us today. Please keep doing what you're doing. Keep us updated on the pageant news and when the next official date will be of the competition, because of course we'd love to be there and cover the event, and of course support the young ladies participating.
Oh yeah, like
the classic division. I keep saying young ladies, but there's the classic division now too. We want to support them as well.
Yeah, we'll definitely see you there. Like we told Tito, we don't do the show without him. We're not.
Oh no, you have to have Tito there. So for all of you viewers out there, if you'd like more information on the Ms. Latina International and Miss International World Pageant System, pay a visit to MsLatinaInternational.com. It should be right below on the ticker as well. And contact Angela with any questions. Angela, thank you again for being on the show. Please stay safe and keep in touch with us. Thank you. Thank you everyone for watching. This was Entertainment Buzz. I'm your host, Jenny Rosario de Castellano, and it was Angela Posillico with us today with Miss Latina International and Miss International World. We'll see you next week. Please stay safe and stay healthy. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
That was